is the Browns beating the Steelers. We're going to dive into our first topic after a reminder that Gusto is a proud sponsor of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Let's be real. Nobody starts a business with the joy of calculating tax withholdings or managing payroll spreadsheets. That's where Gusto comes in to take the stress out of your payroll, benefits, and HR so you can focus on running your business and supporting your team. Gusto is the all-in-one, remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast. Whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees, Gusto helps you do it all from one place without the hassle or hidden fees. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/LockedOnNFL and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, 3 months free payroll at gusto.com/LockedOnNFL. One more time, gusto.com/LockedOnNFL.
There we go.
Guys, we saw some very good moments from Shedeur Sanders yesterday. We saw some not nearly as good moments. It was a bit of a tale of two halves for the Browns' rookie quarterback. And as we get into the final week of the season and get ready to head into an offseason, where there will certainly be plenty of questions around the quarterback position, the question I want to start out today is, did Shedeur do enough to confirm your previous thoughts and or change your opinion on the Browns' quarterback plans for next year? Jay, you want to start?
I'll start. Yeah, I think he did because I had said Monday, I said the Browns were going to win the game. I don't know if any of you guys remember.
You know what? You did.
But I said the Browns were going to win the game.
That was wild.
Now, I had two theories for it. One, either the Ravens were going to win, which I didn't think they would win in Green Bay, and they could rest their guys, or I knew they were going to be without their only threat offensively, and that's DK Metcalf, because I'd watched what happened Sunday night, and I knew that he wasn't going to play the rest of the regular season. So I felt very comfortable. I told anybody that would listen, Browns are going to win this football game. The defense stood up. Everything looked great. And I also had said, because we were talking like, are they going to draft a quarterback? And I'd said, it's kind of in Shedeur's hands. If he goes out there and wins, he knocks them down to, I had supposed at the time, 5th or 6th. I didn't anticipate some other things happening. As they sit today, they're 6th. I do believe they'll lose to Cincinnati. They may move up to 5th. But I don't think that's a good enough spot to take a guy. I think after Mendoza is gone, and the kid from Oregon,
Dante Moore.
I think after those two are gone, it's kind of like last year. You got a whole bunch of dudes, and I don't think any of them are the long-term solution. So I think what we have going into 2026 is a Shedeur, Deshaun Watson training camp quarterback duo. And, I mean, who couldn't love that for your 2026 bingo card? You got drama for the whole damn year. So I think he did enough. I did an exercise with some friends yesterday. I said, text me 2 words that describes young Shedeur Sanders. The answers were wild. Mine are tantalizingly intriguing. I know the 7 touchdowns to 10 picks. I get that. But go back and look at Peyton Manning's rookie year. Hell, he led the league and set a quarterback record for picks. Right now, they seem to be in his DNA. You've got to coach those out. If you do, who knows what the hell we have? I mean, the picks have to come out. They have to. So I think if nothing else, we've got a quarterback duo next year of Sanders and Deshaun Watson and whomever else. They may draft a quarterback in the later rounds. But yeah, I think to this point, because to Jason's point, 2026 isn't the year. 2027 isn't the year. We're looking to 2029. And because it's that much of a build-out.
Does it make you sad to say that?
Well, but you're the one that's got me thinking that.
Well,
but you're
it's
right.
true.
No, you're right.
But it's not right.
No, it's not
You see what I'm
fair.
saying?
It's not just.
Just because I keep saying it and I believe it to be true,
Jay,
it doesn't mean teams should think that way.
Jay, listen. When you first said it, I wanted to punch you in the face.
Well, get in line.
But guess what? You were 1,000% right. You tried convincing all of us in August, guys, they are not trying to win. Look at what they're doing with the quarterbacks. You were right then. You were right long term. This is a 2029 play. He's trying to find a quarterback, and he's got 3 years to do it. So, but for next year, again, they're not trying to win next year either. If someone can convince me they are, stand up. I don't think they are.
They don't care about winning until 2029.
I do think that's their plan. Their long-range plan is to fix it by 2029.
They're hoping to be good by then. They'd like to be good before then.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm not saying they're sitting there going, "Boy, I hope we suck." I don't think that's it. But I do think that the reality of the situation being what it is with the salary cap and how they're struck there, what are they going to do? They are literally stuck in that hell. So I think they've kind of come to the conclusion that we're going to suck. We can't do anything with our cap. We can't do anything with free agents. They had a nice draft last year. Put 3 or 4 good draft classes together and figure out the quarterback by 29. Then you've got a city that is on fire with excitement as they move into the new building. Outside of that, I mean, am I excited about the Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson quarterback derby? Not really, but it'll be fun to watch.
G, go ahead.
You know, you got to pardon me. I've been listening to Young Jeezy all morning. Thug Motivation 101. This is more than words. This is more than raps. This is the street. I am the trap. Standing ovation. You already know my slogan, man. You already know what my slogan is. We came alive in 25 and 26 we ain't gonna miss. So you already know. Don't pour me no Kool-Aid. Why do I need Kool-Aid? Where's the Kool-Aid Mafia at? We don't need nothing. We don't. Upside down. Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid. Hey, listen, we gonna shut the chat down. I need all my ones. If you in the Kool-Aid Mafia and you got the wrist up, I need the ones. Let me just sit this on my lap as I talk. You see what it is.
Tuck yourself in, G.
Let's tuck myself in.
Put it out. Wear it as a bib for the whole show.
Let me wear it right here. I'm just want to wear it right here. Let me just tuck myself in like a
You should
child.
make a sweatshirt that has that.
Oh, I got all of them. Yeah, we already got them. Them
I
already
haven't
been
seen
moving.
that,
They
I
already
think.
moving. Everything already moving. I'm telling you. Let me just tell y'all this as I tuck myself in warm. I am a Cleveland Browns fan. I don't have no other teams. I ain't got a fallback team. I ain't got a team in case they move. I like them. I ain't got a team that I could just pull up. I root for 3 teams: the Cam McKinley Bulldogs, the Ohio Bobcats, and the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I thought you were a Buckeye fan too.
I can't root for them. I'm not gonna cry if the Buckeyes lose. I root for them because I got friends that play for them. But guess what? I'm gonna use your analogy.
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna use your analogy. Shout out to the Buckeyes. If the Buckeyes beat that team up north 13-6, we ain't crying about the way it looked. We're going to take that L. We're going to take them W's too. We're going to take all W's we get. The Pittsburgh Steelers, shout out to them. I respect what they do. I respect their organization. I respect Mike Tomlin. But let me just tell you something. If you want to measure how you want to get a culture started, you want to measure how you go about winning games, you get a bunch of young guys like they did today or yesterday, and you get them to go out there and play the way they did. I'm going to spoil a lot of y'all's stuff today. Y'all didn't even think I was coming with this. Didn't even understand it. Hey, Kevin Stefanski, come here and let me talk to you real quick.
Coming with this.
No, hold on.
Not this part.
Not this part. Kevin Stefanski. Great job. What, G. Bush? Hold on. Stop.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. You know why I'm going to give him credit? See, this is what you can do. I don't gotta. If I don't believe Kevin Stefanski is a long-term answer, it don't matter. In football, you can give credit where credit is due. The Cleveland Browns came out there yesterday, in a terrible game where he probably knows what his fate is, but his team played hard. He called timeout when he needed to call timeout. Carson Schlesinger was hobbling around and refused to come out of the game. Harold Fanning gave it what he could. He caught the touchdown pass, and they got the dub. You know what I saw? They didn't give up on him.
No, they played hard.
They played hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show y'all can give credit where credit is due. Mason Graham, we got on you all last week. We killed you all last week. Guess what? Game ball for you. Leader of the Kool-Aid Mafia. You played your tail off. You were sideline to sideline, moving around, getting it done. I like what I seen from Mason Graham. And then finally with Shedeur Sanders, I'm going to show y'all how this really works. Listen, Shedeur Sanders had 2 throws that were inexcusable. Clip this for everybody that looks around here. Clip it so you can see it. C.G. Bush told him that interception that he threw across his body cannot happen. His dad knew it. He knew it. Stefanski knew it. Everybody in the stadium knew it. And you could see his face on the bench. He said, ooh, dang, I want that one back. That was inexcusable. The second one was where he threw this ball. That was a turnover-worthy throw. When they almost jumped that route. They dropped it, though. They dropped it. The first interception, 68, we'll talk about you. You got to be like a drum all day. Listen, we're not going to talk about that. But let me tell you, them two interception-worthy, turnover-worthy throws, there was that. But let me tell you what I did see from him. I seen throws in the intermediate game, plus 10 yards. Plus 10 yards, the Jerry Jeudy throws. I seen Cedric Tillman corner route. I seen Isaiah Bond deep over route. I seen him get to his third step, hit the progression. I seen him throw it between 2-3 windows. I seen him move in the protection. Tony Romo talked about it. Tony said, ooh, that's high-level quarterback play. I like what he did. That wasn't even really no route. He just threw it over there. I like what I seen from him. Shedeur Sanders is a rookie. But it's undeniable you see throws. That tantalizing thing you see, Jay, that's him making throws and plays and getting better each and every week. He took 2 sacks this game. Aaron Rodgers took 2 sacks for 8 yards. Shedeur Sanders was only for 2 yards. That means he's not running backwards. I saw him changing the protection, and I saw him doing it, and he's getting better each and every game. And the biggest thing we talk about, when we talked about it before, when he threw for 365 against the Tennessee Titans, we said, that's nice. We got to get the dub. The Pittsburgh Steelers came into this game, and they could have clinched the division on your field. And the Cleveland Browns found a way to do what?
Take that win.
Get that
Is
W.
that really their 4th straight win against the Steelers in Cleveland?
6 and
It
7.
is.
4 straight and 6 and 7.
And Jay, the
I
last
don't know
4,
why
by
that
the way.
caught me off guard yesterday when I heard that.
It shocked me too.
I had not realized
4
that we
straight.
have dominated them at home.
The last 4, Jay, quarterbacks to beat them at home in that stretch.
Yeah.
Shedeur, Jameis, DTR, Jacoby. Makes it even better.
That's wild.
And by the way,
you got to give Stefanski credit for that.
before they go, of course he showed enough. And listen, you think Jimmy has him and he's owning the Steelers? You think he wasn't coming away saying, look at my rookie quarterback and what he did and got me this win? We're going to take that and we're going to build on it. Deshaun Watson will be on the roster. Listen, if he really want to put it out of contention, hey, Shedeur, if you really want to get him all the way out of here, go down to Cincinnati and beat the Bengals. We'll be talking about running backs.
Well, that would be a huge accomplishment because of the way Cincinnati's offense is playing.
Let's go, Mafia. Let's go.
Do you think that's doable? A win at Cincinnati?
They're not playing for anything.
They ain't playing.
No, but they haven't been playing for anything the last 2 weeks. They look like world beaters.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think their offense is trying to get that rhythm back for next year.
Those Week 18 games are coin flips when
Especially conference games.
when
Is
neither
Burrow
team
playing?
has nothing on the line.
Burrow's playing.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Go
think
ahead.
Playing. Chase is playing the whole lot of them.
I mean, how am I supposed to follow that?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to want me to go?
Well, I think I think it's
Skip
great.
that.
I mean-
skip that and go
I
follow
mean,
the bull.
you want to hear Dr. Death now or later?
Well, let's have
Go
it
ahead, you go.
because I mean, there's obviously some holes in that. There's the elephant in the room, the 7 touchdowns to 10 picks. I mean, I guess that's where you would start. But
Well, no. I mean, so I was having this conversation last night. I was talking to Varden in Windhurst.
Yeah.
Just about like what this whole season has been like. And I said,
did they have a comparison?
well, I said covering Shedeur is like covering LeBron, but without the world-class talent.
Oh, wow.
Because
Because of the drama?
everything is, listen, I lived in this bubble for 4 years.
Yeah.
I was with him every single day from September to June for 4 years. Everything's a headline. Everything's a story.
Yeah.
Everything gets blown out of proportion. Everybody has to talk about him. All his teammates have to talk. The coaches ask about him constantly. It is a drain on the organization when you have to behave this way. And the thing with LeBron was he brought all of his own smoke. He created all of his own smoke.
Yeah.
And he ran up a bill from September to April. He ran up a big bill. And then you know what he did? He
paid it off.
paid the check
Yeah, he
every
did.
year in April, May, and June.
He made it worth- he made the juice worth the squeeze.
He made it all worth it. And
Yeah.
he made all of the headaches and all of the drama and all of the nonsense that teams have to put up with him for all those
difference,
months.
though,
He made it all worth it.
Shedeur doesn't, it's not self-inflicted
It
with
is not.
Shedeur. This
It's
kid
not.
is just a
It's
model
not.
kid.
But it doesn't matter.
I know, it's still there.
When there's a hole in the pool, you still got to fix the hole. And that's the thing. That's the part that's disappointing because I've said it before. I actually really like Shedeur. Like I think he's a good kid.
I do
think
too. I'm rooting for him.
But with all of the stuff that comes around him, it is a drain on organizations. And the Browns brought all this on themselves. I don't see the talent that makes it worth it. Yesterday has no bearing. And by the way, if you wanted to fire Kevin before yesterday, you should still want to fire him now.
Why?
What difference does one win
Well,
make?
I think the thing G touched on this, and this is my takeaway. Even if the Steelers had completed that touchdown pass at the end of the game, and the Browns had lost for whatever, the one thing that we always talk about is you can tell when a team is done with a coach just by their
Absolutely.
effort. I will say, in Tampa, there was a big discussion yesterday about how their defense has played with no energy for the last 6 weeks. I don't know what's going on there because I'm not close to that situation, but that hasn't happened here, and I do think that's a testament.
They are
to
still
Defense was
fighting.
terrible.
And
To be fair, the defense had been terrible.
they
until
had
this
been,
week.
but Bull, the one
Yeah.
thing I hadn't seen was a team that quit.
All right, but
I don't
here's the
think
thing.
they've quit.
You don't get pats on the back for
No,
the team
you don't.
playing
But
hard.
you can't.
That's not the goal of a
no,
coach.
but to
But-
me,
but I'm-
when you're going to move on from a coach, the one sure way, like in Tampa, he's dead man walking.
But let me.
Todd Bowles is dead man
let's
walking.
get back.
but
Can we get back to the question? Because
Yeah.
I don't know that we've answered the question. Did Sanders do enough to change the Browns quarterback?
I said
play?
yes. G says yes. I think we do have his answer.
Jason.
No,
I mean, did it change the Browns? I have no idea if it changed the Browns' plans. Did it change what I would do? No. I would move on from them after the season.
yeah.
I'd get them out.
By the way, I think this is the last thing I'm going to say on it. I'm not going to comment on it anymore. We have spent way too much time. We are to blame, not the fans.
Well, the media in general.
We are to blame because we have spent so much time talking about it's a pain in the ass to cover. It's a this. The fans are crazy. That's part. We got to shut the hell up about it. I don't care about the coverage. I don't care about any of it. All right? I'm going to keep it real. Here's the truth. The truth is, of course he didn't. Of course he hasn't done enough to change the quarterback plans. In my opinion, I said last week, I'm not sure about Shedeur Sanders. I'm not sure if he's good enough. And what am I going to say today? The same thing.
So you're still
I'm not sure. I haven't changed my mind. The first 20 minutes of the game, roughly, the first two drives,
Incredible.
and then the
Scripted plays.
if
Yeah,
you include
it always has been.
if you include the first two passes of the third possession, he was like 10 of 11 for 120 yards. And they were running the ball, a little bit in that first 20 minutes. From that point on, the offense was horrendous. The offense literally did nothing the rest of the game.
Yeah, the
no
3 points
passing,
late
no
was a
quarter.
given.
There was nothing. The offense did nothing. So the Browns didn't win that game because of Shedeur Sanders. We know that. Just like they didn't lose the game against Tennessee. I took no credit away from him because they lost, because it had nothing to do with him. And I'm not giving him extra credit for the win because he didn't do much now, he did some. He was part of the reason they won. He was part of it. But I'm not going to say, like, he put them on their back. I mean, come on.
It was the defense.
It was the defense that won this game, and the Steelers' pathetic game plan. We'll get to that later, how embarrassing that was. But the truth about Shedeur Sanders, and there's so little of it right now, is that we don't know. To me, if you're saying he's a certain top, even 15 quarterback, you're out of your mind. And even though some of the analytics say there's no he's terrible, everything has to be taken into account. And all the numbers are part of the process. It's part of the process. There are games when I look at Shedeur Sanders, I see parts of his game that I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. There's talent. There's some talent there. I think he has some potential. I'm not sure how high the potential is. And there's other parts of his game where I'm like, that's not good. This is these interceptions are horrible. Yeah. Those 2 interceptions were, too hideous. Especially the toss-up that ended up being the one that actually was an interception.
Yeah, that was.
That's one of the worst throws I've ever seen.
I don't know what he was.
I mean, and so. And I again,
tantalizingly interesting.
That's it. I'm interested, but if the Browns before this game, if the Browns were saying, I don't know, which I think most reasonable people are saying, I don't know, and we'll see, could be, could not be. I don't think it changes your mind. Now it limits your opportunity because you now will probably not be able to draft Willis quarterback.
I'm glad you brought that up because I did factor that into my decision. Look, if they're sitting at 2 or 3. It
changes
it changes the math on this because one of those, Mendoza or Moore, are going to be there for
potentially,
sure.
Yes,
unless there's a trade.
Yeah.
So and quite frankly, I think the rest of the league we'll find out during the draft process. I think everybody's kind of graded these guys for who they are and what they are. We'll take a flyer on them if they're there. I would be stunned if any team made a big move to go up and get either one of these guys.
The Jets and Raiders are, as of now, probably picking 1, 2.
1 and 3, aren't they? I think the Jets are 3.
Yeah, I think it is. Did you guys see the stat on Mendoza that was circulating
Giants
this weekend
are still 2.
about his 32 touchdowns? when I saw that,
But that was a dumb stat because they've got good teams into the bad category and bad teams in the good. Like
well,
it
wasn't dumb on this count.
nonsensical.
It made me raise my eyebrows because I realized, gosh, I've only watched him play. I watched him play 3 games. I watched him. 2 of them were against awful teams.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this dude can sling it. I didn't realize that against the 6 teams with winning records, he had only thrown 6 touchdowns.
Well,
and all of his other touchdowns, 27, came against horrific teams.
No, but you got to look at that. If it's the thing that Ty was put in our group chat, I don't know if Mendoza's going to be good. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
But some of the teams that were like bad teams were lumped in with the bad, like it was flipped.
There's
It
one
was
bad team that was lumped
it was
in
like
with the 6 touchdowns.
Maryland was in like the bad category, and Illinois, like
it's
Yeah, I mean,
irrelevant. It's irrelevant,
to me,
guys.
what it
They're
showed
not
me
going to be
was-
able to draft it.
I
He threw 6 touchdowns against like the 6 notable
To
opponents
me,
that he
stats
had.
don't matter in terms
I know, but we'll find out with him because
Yeah.
he's got more football to play. Thank God.
I'm glad you corrected the record. You have to again. I'm going to say it as I talk about Mendoza. I'm not going to take stats out of context and use like, okay, well, he's not good. I've already said I think Mendoza is going to be a good quarterback. It's all about where they have him rated. That, like Sean King said, is he good enough to take at that high premium pick compared to whatever else you got on the roster? So I'm not going to use that against him either. Yeah. Like you got to put that in context.
At this point, though, it doesn't matter because the Browns are not in.
No, and that's why I
Yeah.
think based on the fact that they won and moved down to 6. Now, I want to ask Jay, because you're talking to guys, you're getting a pulse of the organization. I had someone who does not cover this team on a regular basis, but covers the NFL.
Yeah.
Tell me 2 things yesterday that made me raise my eyebrows. He is not reporting either of these things. I asked him for his degree of confidence. He goes, I'm not reporting them.
Yeah.
I'm hearing them.
Yeah.
But the people I'm hearing them from have been wrong before.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, was Stefanski coming back, and are they definitely sure that Shedeur is coming back? He believes Stefanski has done enough. He does not think Kevin Stefanski is getting fired.
I don't think you can. First of all, it's funny because I got asked that. A couple people were asking me that yesterday after the game. I'm like, who knows? The game just ended.
It is a guess.
If this game alone changed
It
Jimmy's,
shouldn't.
I don't think
they're as big a losers as I think they are.
I don't think it had
That
anything
is
to do with it.
insane.
If you made up your mind before the game,
Yeah, you shouldn't change your mind.
change your
And
mind.
100%. I agree.
But again, go back to the start of the year. I thought they would win about 5 games this year, 5-6 games somewhere there. I thought they would beat Dolphins, Titans, Jets, and probably run into 1 or 2 other wins. They beat the Dolphins.
The Raiders.
They lost to the Jets and Titans, and I thought they would beat both of those teams.
I did too.
So, I mean, if they beat Cincinnati next week, they're going to wind up exactly where I thought that they were, 5 or 6 wins, somewhere in that range. So the season has sort of played out. Like when you get to the finish line, it's sort of what I thought it was going to be when we get there. But the path that they took to get there was so wild. And again, you don't build these teams on spreadsheets. This isn't fantasy football.
Right.
Yeah. Well, these are like real human beings with real emotions that went through a lot of shit this year.
Yeah.
And I know we're not supposed to cuss Steve Starry. There's no other word to use it. The Browns went through a lot of shit this year.
They did.
And there's left some scars. Like this was a really hard year inside that building. Way worse than I think people realize.
Worse than last
way
year.
worse than last year.
We are sidetracked
but it's
because
not.
we're talking about Stefanski later.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
then I'll shut up. But anyway, if I don't think yesterday should have any bearing on the decision. If you were going to fire him before, now if they win again next week, I don't know, man. Let's have this conversation all over again, I guess. But 1 win, I don't think should change their mind.
If we go back to put a bow on the Shedeur conversation just really quickly, I don't think people understand. Like, I'm going to give them a lot of credit because I just saw this team. I just saw this defense go play in Detroit and had Jared Goff play one of his worst games. They got ball players in Detroit. They didn't make the playoffs this year, but when you talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, they got Gibbs, they got Goff, they got one of the best offensive lines. The Steelers went to Detroit and put a stake in pretty much in their playoff hopes. So I'm going to go back and just compare it to this. I know for a fact you ain't got 13 points, but let me tell you this. Yeah, your offense is going to stall out if you listen, I just keep asking my man Hayward. I keep asking Hayward to retire because he's been dominant. To me, he was one of the best defensive tackles. He's a Hall of Famer. He's balling. Patrick Queen is a beast. Jalen Ramsey is a guy back there. Highsmith is a monster. They got 4 names that dominate and can wreck game plans. And the Browns have a backup offensive line. The Browns didn't have Juckins. Fannin was going after the first quarter. And they out there at least moving the ball with Sanders and Williams in the backfield and Canelo. Only Canelo I know is Alvarez, and he blocks. So for me, I'm going to take that 13 and cook and take that dub of a team that needed the win. Good luck next week, Pittsburgh, because you got to go see the Ravens. Shout out to the Browns for going ahead.
Grade for Shedeur. Grade for Shedeur.
I give him a C. You know when 13 points is enough? When you hold the other team to 6. That's great.
Grade for
C+.
Shedeur.
C-.
C-.
All in the same range.
All right, let's talk about the other side of the ball here, guys.